Once upon a full moon, in a land not too far away, creatures of the night awaken. Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house you go. But be warned, not every story ends in happily ever after. I don't really have a good feeling about this. Here we go. Hello everyone, my name is Jamie from Foster the Meeple, and this is solo mode. And now we can take the hood off because surprise, I'm not really red. No. Today we are going to be playing Final Girl, which just so happens to be my favorite game of all time. It is a solo game that is all about being that final girl, the horror movie trope. You know, you're the only one to survive. They think you're a victim, but you're not because you're coming after the killer who's coming after you. It's a plot twist. It's not a great plot twist because it's a trope for a reason. Today we're going to be playing from Series 2 of Final Girl. There are currently 2 series out, and the set that we're going to be playing is Once Upon a Full Moon. Do you hear that? That's a werewolf. And he's big. He's bad. And he's going to try and eat us. Doesn't matter. We're going to win. It's totally fine. So before we actually get into the gameplay, I am going to start with a brief overview of how the game plays. As we go through the playthrough, I will definitely bring up more rules and let you know what I'm doing so that no rock is left unturned and nothing is missed. In Final Girl, as I mentioned before, you are acting as a final girl. You are trying to save all of the victims in your location. Today's location is the Storybook Woods, and we are playing as Red. Kind of like Little Red Riding Hood. You know, it's a classic. Our objective in this game is to kill the bad guy before he kills us. Today's bad guy, as I mentioned, is the big bad wolf, and he has 9 total health that we need to break down so that we can win. The way that you lose this game is you basically get eaten. We each, both myself as well as the big bad wolf, start off with a certain amount of health. So Red has 5 health and the big bad wolf has 9. One of the cool things about Final Girl is, you know, classic horror movie once again, sometimes when you think somebody is dead, they pop up like a daisy and guess what? Not dead. And that can happen in this game too. So once you get down to the final health, you are going to be able to flip a final health token. On the back of that token, there could either be no hearts, there could be 1 heart, 2 hearts, or 3 hearts. If there's any hearts, that means we live to see another day. That goes for us, that goes for the bad guy. We are going to be rolling lots of dice in this game, but we also have card play as well. So step 1 is the action phase. In the action phase, we are going to be playing cards from our hand. All of these cards cost a certain amount of time. Time is basically money in this game. When you play out a card, you are going to roll however many dice that your horror track allows. Typically, you start off with 2 dice. As you get more scared, you lose dice. As you get less scared, more brave, you gain dice. The more dice you have, the better because it's going to improve your odds. So you're going to play out a card, roll your allotted amount of dice, and then you're going to fulfill the card based on how many successes that you get. A star is a success. There's also a face on 2 sides of the dice that has 2 cards, meaning you can discard 2 cards from your hand in order to re-roll that dice. No guarantee you're going to get a star, but hey, there's literally no guarantees in life in general, so you win some, you lose some. Two sides of the dice also have nothing on them. So, you know, sometimes that is how the dice roll. Many of the cards are also going to cost you time when you use them. That will be shown on the side of the card with a little hourglass figure. If it's green, bonus, you get to gain time. If it's red, that sucks, you lose time. And you're going to continue until you either run out of time or you choose to stop. Why would you want to stop? Great question. The next phase of the game is the planning phase, where we get to go, as I like to say, shopping. You have a tableau of cards set out in front of you that you can purchase for a certain amount of time. The time that a card costs is going to be written down in the bottom right-hand corner. So you can spend whatever time you had left from your action phase in order to purchase more cards. The more cards you have, the better, because it allows you to do different things like run faster or protect yourself or hit harder or maybe do a little distraction. Magic. Or maybe you're nearly dead and you need to have a very long rest. Sometimes that's what you need. From there, we're moving on to the dreaded killer phase, because it's not all about you. That's not how the world works. So the killer gets to have a turn as well. So for the killer phase, you are going to fulfill whatever it says underneath the killer's ability. This set has a couple of special nuances to it for the killer phase, so I'll explain that now. The big bad wolf has two modes. They are either tracking you or they're slaying you, okay? I mean, think about it thematically. A wolf is going to be tracking you through the woods, waiting for its opportune moment to pounce and pretend to be your grandmother. In this set, during the track mode, you are going to only fulfill whatever shows the track symbol. Once we reveal our monster's dark power, which is going to happen as we increase bloodlust, which I'll explain in a minute, we're going to flip this card and the big bad wolf is going into his slay mode, which is basically, he's going into super kill mode. He's tracked you, he's seen you, he knows your patterns, he knows where your grandma lives, and now he's coming for you. And it's kind of scary, but you're a final girl, so you can get through it. The next step is that we are going to flip a terror card. Then we are just going to fulfill whatever the terror card says. It could say, maybe we have to pull an event card. Maybe the killer is going to move and eat some victims. Who knows? It's a bundle of fun in here. You just never know what terror will bring. Then we are going to move into the panic phase. So if the killer was being, a little audacious, a little outrageous, maybe he was hungry, if he killed somebody in this round, then any of the victims that are in his space are going to panic. Can't blame them. So basically, to panic, we're just going to roll a die and we are going to move our victims accordingly on the map. As you can see on the map, there's lots of different numbers and we are going to be moving them along those paths. And last but not least, we have our upkeep phase. In our upkeep phase, we are checking to see if the terror deck has been emptied. If the terror deck has been emptied, then we are going to reveal our finale. Throughout the game, we are also going to be pulling event cards. We're actually going to start the game with an event card, and we're just going to follow the card, whatever it says. On the map, there are also a few special spaces outlined in orange. Those are our search spaces. In order to search a space, we need to have a search card. That is going to allow us to gain some really fun items. As an example, right now we have songbirds, a hatchet, and a red cape that we can see, but each of the item piles has multiple cards in it that we could potentially sift through and get something really cool. This set also has one special movement rule, and that is the bridges. So typically, whenever a final girl goes into a space with a victim, they can then take that victim with them when they go, because the final girl is trying to rescue victims. Typically, the final girl can take 2 victims with them. However, the bridges are a little shabby and not very strong, so the final girl can only take 1 victim with her across any of the bridges. The final girl is trying to get the victims to one of these 2 doors. So long as the final girl is with a victim on that door, zip, they get to escape. Lucky them. Then what we get to do is we get to place one of the victims on the final girl's cards. We're going to be playing with Red, and she has 6 victim save spots. Anytime one of those spots is covered, we get that reward. Once we completely fill Red's card, well, then we're going to have some extra fun because her special ability is then revealed, and Red's special ability is once per action phase, if an enemy is within 2 spaces of you, you may move 1 space for free. She's very, very fast, just like me. Now, the last thing that I want to cover before we just dive right in is the Bloodlust track. This track is showing you how much movement and how much kill power the villain has. To start, our big bad wolf has 3 movement and 1 kill power. Victims each only have 1 life. If the wolf eats one of the victims, they are dead. They have no way to protect themselves. Anytime a victim is killed, the monster's bloodlust is going to go up. They got a taste for victims, and they liked it. Every time you pass a space on the Bloodlust track here that shows a different symbol, you have to resolve that. As an example, the first one is to increase horror. It's the first time you've seen a wolf eat a victim. That is scary. So yeah, you're gonna have to increase your horror. And eventually, as we get up to the very top, every time you need to gain another bloodlust, the wolf is going to start healing itself, regenerating. It's a werewolf thing. You know, it's very scientific. But I think that's everything that I want to cover right now in the overview. As we get into the game, I will explain any other nuances that come up as we play. Now, before we get started, the first thing that we need to do is we need to choose one of these heart tokens to give to the big bad wolf and to give to me, Red. There's only, I think, 1 with 1 heart, 1 with 2 hearts, and 1 with 3, and the rest are all blanks. Let's do that. And let's, I guess, do that. So we can't look at any of the other ones because I don't want to know what is still in there. That's part of the fun. Time to fight some bad guys. Let's dive in. So first off, we have to pull an event card. We always start the game with an event. Very exciting stuff. Our event is called Fairy Ring. That sounds nice. All victims at the Glen disappear. Not killed, just somewhere else. Remove them from the game and do not increase bloodlust. Discard this card. Okay, where is the Glen? So there is 1 victim in the Glen. They have disappeared. The fairies have taken them away, and we don't know where they have gone. It's fine. So that's the event. Now, into our turn. So we start off with a hand of 0 time cards. We have 2 focus cards, 2 walk cards, a weak attack, and a short rest. My favorite thing to do in this set in particular, because our horror is the worst, it's not the worst, but it's not great, I like to play focus. Basically, what focus allows you to do is it allows you to decrease your horror, aka become more brave. If you are so fortunate and you get 2 stars, then you also get to increase your time. You don't know this maybe about me, but I have to roll the 2 middle dice because it's a superstition at this point, and I just know that they kind of work. They just work better. Okay, I rolled 1 star and a double card discard. So you know what I'm gonna do? I think I'm actually going to discard my short rest and my weak attack to turn that into 2 stars. They don't call me the 2-star queen for nothing, okay? It's because I always know how to get 2 stars eventually. That is going to allow me to decrease my horror and put my time up by 2. The more time I have, the more shopping that I can do. I now have 2 walk cards and 1 focus card. I am personally inclined to focus again because I really want to get my horror down. Okay, so we got 1 star. So with that 1 star, we get to decrease horror and we lose 1 time. I'm totally fine with losing that time because we gained time last time. Win some, lose some, you know? Now, I have 2 walk cards. My goal is to kill the big bad wolf. However, I need to save some victims because I want to get my special ability revealed. So let's do a little walkie-talkie, some might say. So though it looks like I am really close to these victims, I'm actually not because there is no pathway there. So I think my best bet is actually to go this way and try and get to these 2 people to try to get them to that door. I think that's what I'm gonna try and do. So we will try to do a little walkie. Woo! 2 stars. 2 stars. 2-star queen. Yes. Okay. 2 stars means I get to move 2 spaces. 1, 2. And I got to cross the bridge all by myself because I am only little and I can carry myself across the bridge. I do lose 1 time. Here's the thing. It's probably not the best strategy always to use literally all of your cards on your first turn. However, I'm feeling good about it because I'm still at 6 times. So we got some time to spare. So long as we get at least 1 star, I think we'll be doing okay, but I would prefer 2. All right, we got 1 star, which I am totally fine with. So we are going to move 1 space and we are taking our 2 friends with us. I do like to give the victims names. It helps me be more invested. So we will call these 2 Billy and Bobby. Billy and Bobby, what are you doing in these woods? And then we're gonna lose 1 time. All right, so I'm completely out of cards, which means that we're going into the planning phase and I have 5 time to spend. Here's what I like to do. I do like to run really, really fast. So I will be getting a sprint card. I am inclined actually to buy 2 of those, but that's almost all of my time. But what else am I gonna do? So my other option that I typically do like to do is to get a distraction card. If I'm able to roll 2 stars, I could put my horror down and then secure myself 3 dice, which sounds pretty darn good. So I think I'm actually gonna do this. I'm gonna gain a sprint and a distraction. All of the cards that I used in the last round are now going to go back into the tableau for me to use later in the future. Okay. Moving on to the killer phase, Big Bad Wolf is gonna go, old Wolfie, you know? So he is in his track phase. So he is going to be targeting whoever is closest, whether it's me or it's a victim. Unfortunately, it's Zach right now, because that's gonna be Zach. And he's just moving, you know, he's just like, hey, Zach, buddy, what's up? Maybe he hasn't transformed. Maybe the full moon hasn't fully come out yet. I don't know what the situation is, but that's where he's gone. Now to pull a tarot card. Out of the woods. If there are no victims on the board, discard and draw the next tarot card. There are many a victim. So, otherwise, all victims that are not in your space move 1 space towards the village. Where's the village? Okay, Zach is like, bye. He's going into the village. All victims that are not in your space. So these 2, you stay where you are. Oh, this is nice. Julie's gonna go there. What is closer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're gonna come this way. These peeps are gonna come here. And this dynamic duo is gonna go right here. Okay? We good? We good. We're not that good. The killer is going to target me. And he is actually going to attack me, which I I didn't see coming. So he's gonna move, whoopsies, he has 3 movements. So he's gonna go 1, 2, he's gonna buckle his shoe, and he's going to just take a nibble, just a little taste. He wants a taste. And he's hitting me for 1. I have no way to defend myself because I didn't think that he was coming after me very naively, and I didn't get a guard. So I will be removing 1 heart, and I am down to 4 health. Ruh-roh, Rorge. Okay, it's fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. Now we're going into our upkeep phase. We have nothing that we need to do right now. So we are good to go. This is going to be a very short turn because I only have 2 cards. But we are going to try and perform a distraction, okay? I brought a squeaky toy with me. He never saw it coming. So we're gonna roll our die and just really, really hope that we get at least 1 star. And we did! Yoo-hoo! Okay, so we got 1 star, which means that we can lower our horror by 1. I really wish that we got 2 because then we could get 3 dice. And there's nothing I love more than rolling 3 dice. 3 is better than 2. But I also get to gain 1 time. So we're up to 7 time. And now to run like the wind, okay? Please let me get out of here. Because if I can get to the door, I can save 2 people. 2-star queen, 2-star queen, 2-star queen. Okay, perfect. 2 stars. That's what we like to see. That's why they call me. Listen, that's why they call me the 2-star queen. You love to see it, okay? So, I have 3 movement. I will lose 1 time, which is fine. So, 3 movement. I am going to take Billy and Bobby down to the door, and I'm going to say, you get out of here. Get. Okay, so we're saving 2. Now, we have to decide what we want to do. Red's special things are gain 1 time, take any top item card, gain 2 time, gain a heart, move 2 spaces, or take an action card. I can do 2 things. I think I might gain the heart back. Boop. So I still have 2 movement, which I can go over here to try and get away from him, which is probably a good move because he might eat this person. You know, it's gonna happen, but I could save these 3 people later. I think that's probably a good idea for what I'm gonna do. Let's have a look at the item cards. All right, the 3 item cards that we have on top available to us right now are the red cape, the hatchet, and songbirds. I want all of these things. What does the red cape do? So the red cape, for targeting, if there is a tie between you and a victim, the killer will target you instead of the victim. That doesn't sound very good. The hatchet, you may attack from an adjacent space. If you do, place the hatchet token in the target's space and this card to the side out of play. You may discard a search card while in the space to pick up the hatchet again. So basically it's like I'm using it and I drop it. And then I can run back, I can pick it up, and I can bop, I can do it again. Bop, bop, and I'll do it again. All right, songbirds. If the killer is within 2 spaces of you, you may spend 3 time to send the songbirds to attack, doing 3 damage to the killer, and then discard this card. What do? I don't want the cape. That's just for fashion. I feel like the hatchet's probably the smarter thing, but honestly, who doesn't want to send some songbirds out to do their bidding? I know I do. All right, so we're putting the songbirds in our supply. That's what we're doing, okay? So we've gained our heart, and we've taken our item card. Now I have 2 more movement. So realistically, actually, I might take this fella, put them there, and then I'm gonna pick up 2, and I'm gonna move here. And that is my 3 movement. Okay, so I'm a little bit further away from the killer now, which is good. We like that. And that's my turn. So that is the whole action phase. Now going into the planning phase, I have 6 time to spend. I will be getting back all of my 0 cards, which means I have some movement, I have a rest, I have a weak attack, I have some focus. But what do we want? We have 6. What do we want? I am typically inclined, as always, to get a sprint for 2. I am also inclined to either get a guard card or retaliate. So, I haven't really talked about these yet. Guard and retaliate are both reaction cards. So you don't play them on your turn, you play them if the killer attacks you. A guard allows you to ignore hits. A retaliate allows you to ignore hits but attack back. A guard would be 2, which would leave us with 2 more, which could allow us to pick up a couple close calls, which is also a pretty cool card because it basically gives you a free reroll or to roll 1 die, or you pay some time to roll 2. And they're pretty good to have on hand. So I actually think that's what I might do. I am going to purchase a sprint, 2 close call cards, and a guard card for 6 times, making sure now that we have no more than 10 cards. The hand limit is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. And that is the planning phase, and we are on to the killer phase. All right, so he is still in track mode, so he is going to be moving 3. 1, why he's so fast? Jeesh. 2, 3. Now, he's just moving in there. So if the tarot card doesn't tell him to attack, then I'm fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. All right, time to pull a little tarot card. Boom. Okay, getting treats for grandmother. That's nice. Take the top card of the village item deck. Oh, okay. And then he's gonna attack me, but whatever, you know. Let's have a peeksies. A slingshot. All right, I'm not mad about it. Okay, so the slingshot is a 2-handed weapon. Slingshot cannot modify an action card and must be used without one. It can only be used once per round. Do not discard the slingshot after 2 uses. You may, because it's got 2 thingies on it, you may remove a search card in your hand from the game to replenish the item's uses. All right. So it has a range of 1, a hit power of 2. Ooh. Perfect. Okay. So I need to be 1 space away. I can use the slingshot twice, and it's used not as an action card, so that's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so then he's going to target me. He's not going to move, but he is going to take a bite. However, I did get a guard card. So this is how the guard card works. He is trying to bite me, but I'm not going to let him. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll our die. If we roll 1, we reduce it by 2. If we roll 2, we ignore all, which is just 1. If we roll none, we reduce it by 1. So no matter what I roll, okay, well, I got 2 stars. It was a bit of a waste. But so I ignore all, which was only 1. It's probably not the best to use it at that point, but whatever. Let's just stay alive, shall we? We shall. All right. So that is killer phase done. Let's go back to me. No upkeep right now. No upkeep. Okay, so let's see. What do we want to do? I don't even know. I'm in his space, so I could give him a little pop, pop, punch him in the face, my little weak attack. I've also got my slingshot. I can also move, which I think is probably smart. I should probably get these people out. Put this back up to 6 times. However, the first thing that I'm going to do, once again, is I am going to try and focus. Because if I can just get 1 success, I have 3 dice. I've already told you how I feel about that. It's pretty good. Okay, that's not so bad. It's not a star, but it's not nothing. So we can get rid of 2 cards, or I could use one of my close call cards and re-roll. So why don't we do that? So I will keep the 3 and we'll re-roll the blank. Okay, we re-rolled another blank. Geesh. Okay, that's fine. Let's get rid of, I will get rid of my short rest card and my focus card. We will put those in the discard and turn that 3 into a 6, turn that frown upside down, and that is going to put us in the green, which gives us another horror, which is going to add to our die, and we're going to lose 1 time for that, which is fine, but I have to be careful. I have to save myself some time. However, one thing I haven't told you yet, you can discard cards from your hand in order to increase your time, if you do so choose. I mean, I've got some pretty solid fight ability right now because I've got my songbirds and my slingshot. I'm feeling like, I'm gonna jinx myself right now, but I'm feeling weirdly good right now. So what I think I might try and do, the killer is within, songbirds are taking up a lot of my time. So I might, perhaps I should do a weak attack. I might do just a weak attack just to poke him, just because. And then I might try and sprint away from him because I can get these peeps up here and try and get them out and then get some more benefits. So let's do a little weak attack. Oop, 3 dice. All right, so we got 1 star and 2 discard abilities. 1 star is going to give us a hit, but it's also going to hit us back, which right now I feel probably more confident than I should, but I am going to do that because I don't want to get rid of any more of my cards. So that is going to remove a heart from the killer. So he is down to 8. I am down to 4. All right, let's go for a run. Let's do a little sprint, shall we? We shall. Try to save some of these peeps. Oof. Double oof. Well, I do have a close call card, so let's use that and try and... What just happened? I don't think that counts. No. That was very confusing. This dice tray is very bouncy. Anyways, I didn't get it. So I think it's okay. I'm actually going to discard my 2 walk cards in order to turn one of those into a success. Okay, and that is going to allow me to move 2 spaces. And that is going to allow me to save, woo, these 2. I feel like I gave them names, but I forgot, so we'll call them Jessica and Julie. You're free! All right, so we have freed Jessica and Julie. I do need to lose 1 time, and I have no more movement, so we can discard that. All right, let's have a peek here at red and what we want to do. So I can gain 2 time, which it's probably a good time to use that because I'm down to 4 and it's not going to give me much ability to buy cards. So if I get 2, then I've got 6. So I think I might do that. Whoops. All right, so that's putting us up to 6 time. I've got 1 more, so I can move 2 spaces, take an action card, maximum of 2 time. That's pretty good, or gain another time. Let's gain an action card. Okay, we'll make him, he's gonna move, well, yeah, he's gonna move to me no matter what because his movement is 3 and I'm less than 3 away. So let's take an action card of 2 time or less. So that really only gives us a search, a sprint, or a guard. There is potential that they are going to attack. They're still only attacking for 1. So I'm not super scared of them. So, you know how it is. A sprint is probably what I'm going to end up taking because I just love to have a sprint card. Okay, so take an action card. That's what I did. All right, so we just need to save 2 more victims so that we can flip our card and have special powers of our own. Okay, so I have 6 time. I do have a card in my hand now that I just picked up, but I will not be spending it. So we're gonna end our action phase and go into the planning phase. And what I think I might do, I could technically afford a critical blow, which is a pretty decent card to have. Right now, I'm going into my next turn only with a sprint. So I either need to grab an attack card or a defense card. I could do both. I could get a Furious Strike and a guard, which is protecting me and also attacking them. And so I think that's what I'm gonna do. That feels like a good value deal right there. This is what I always do. I always use all of my cards one turn, and my next turn I'll have very few. It is what it is. All right, let's go into the killer's turn. So the big bad wolf is still tracking me, tracking in general. He is going to move towards, whoever is closest. And right now, it's these 2. We'll call them Vinny and Veronica. You silly gooses, what are you doing at that spot? It doesn't have a name, so never mind. All right, so now we are going to pull a terror card. It's not, it does suck because I'm gonna lose a die. So on the hunt, right now we are gonna resolve the top action because he's in his tracking phase. He's gonna target whoever's closest. He's obviously already with Veronica and Vinny, so he's not going anywhere. He's gonna do a double move. Joke's on him. He's already where he needs to be, and Bloodlust is going to increase by 1, which we don't love to see because we are getting scared. Ooh, scary. So we're back down to 2 die. I don't like that. I like to have 3. I worked so hard for my 3 die, and now I gotta give them back, so that's not great. So that's it. If Bloodlust increases once more, we're gonna have to reveal the Dark Power, which also isn't fantastic, but he hasn't killed anybody yet, so that's pretty good. We're gonna go into the upkeep phase, and there is nothing to upkeep. We still have terror cards. I don't need to rearrange anything, so we are good to go. Now, I am wondering, I'm gonna be getting like a lot of cards back next time, so it might actually be, oh, he's more than 2 spaces away from me. It might be worth it to use my songbirds. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run directly at the wolf. Yeah. This feels like a good idea. I'm gonna run straight at him, and hopefully what I'm planning on doing is if I could get here into the meadow, then I can slingshot him and use the songbirds. If I'm able to get 3 spaces in, then I could use my Furious Strike card, but let's just see how this goes. Hopefully I get at least 1 star. Yay! Okay. So I got 1 star, and technically I could get rid of 2 to get 2 stars, but we don't need to do that. So we're just gonna move to the meadow. You know, we just chilling in the meadow. Storybook Woods. It actually sounds quite nice if there weren't a killer wolf on the loose. We are going to lose 1 time, but here's what we're gonna do. We are going to first release the hounds, release the songbirds. That is gonna cost us 3 time, which isn't fantastic, but we're gonna get lots of cards back. It is going to cost us 3 time, and what that is going to do He's within 2 spaces. He's literally right next to me. Uh-oh. No, he hasn't killed anybody. Okay. He's literally right next to me. I am going to send my songbirds, as we all know, notorious for being vicious killers, to attack the killer, and it's going to hit him 3 times. So, 1, 2, 3. Boom. Roasted. All right. So basically, he is now down to... He's down to 5 health. We are going to discard our songbirds. Thank you for your service. Didn't know you had it in ya. And then we're going to use our slingshot. The slingshot can only be used once per round, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so slingshot is, I'm going to spend one of these little tokens here. And I'm going to pew pew. Pop. I'm going to pop him right between the eyes. Right between the eyes with my little slingshot, and it's going to hit him for 2. And now he's down to 3. Hopefully there's nothing under there. Okay. I have no more movement, so I can't get into the space with him. So this is what I've got left in my hand. I have a guard card and a furious strike. I am happy to hang on to these because if he tries to attack me, which he probably won't, he's probably going to kill Vinny and Veronica first. Then we're going to have a dark power and everything's going to be terrible. But that's fine. I'm going to save these. And we are going to have 2 time to spend. So we are getting all of our free cards back into our hand. And for our 2 time, we could get 2 close call cards. We could get a sprint. We could get another guard card. We could get a search. I am wondering, I've got an attack. I've got a rest. I've got movement. Let's get a guard. I think that's a good decision. I think that's a good decision. All right. That's me. Okay, Wolfie. Teen Wolf. My favorite TV show. Your turn. So he is, once again, not going to move because he's already where he wants to be. There's something in the trees. Gee, I wonder what that could be. So he is going to move. He won't. He's already where he needs to be. If there's at least 1 victim in the killer's space, increase bloodlust. Boom. Okay, so now we are revealing the dark power. For anybody who hasn't played Final Girl before, each set comes with multiple dark power cards and finale cards. You shuffle them up at the beginning and you lay one out at random. So I don't know what's underneath this. So we're about to find out together. Destructive Roar. Rawr. Okay, when revealed and once during each upkeep phase, remove from the game the top item card of the closest item deck to the big bad wolf. I'm not gonna lie, this might be best case scenario because he's not attacking, he's not killing, he's just yelling. And we all know yelling doesn't get you anywhere. You have to ask nicely if you want things done. Here's what we need to remember. During the upkeep phase, we're yelling at people. During the upkeep phase, we're stealing items. I need to do that, otherwise I will in fact forget. So because this was turned midway through, or basically midway through the killer's turn, the slay mode is not going to activate until his next turn. But that's it. Feels like that's best case scenario, but we do have to do this now. When revealed, remove from the game the top item card of the closest item deck to the big bad wolf. Closest is Grandma's house. So there goes the red cape. Bye. So that is now our upkeep phase. We are not at the finale. Nobody has died, so nobody is panicking, and we are just trucking along, and I'm not gonna lie, and I shouldn't jinx it, but I'm feeling really good about this, better than maybe I've ever felt playing Final Girl. I feel very confident. but this can go bad quickly. However, I don't think it's going to. I just don't think it's going to. Because the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use my slingshot again. I didn't get a search card, unfortunately, so I can't reload it. However, I can only use it once this round anyway, and we are hitting him for 2. All right, so here's what we need to do. We need to take a leisurely stroll into his space so that we can attack. And I have my Furious Strike. So actually, oops, this should go back to 6. What I think I might do first is let's focus. All right, team, focus up. You're about to go fight a big bad wolf. He's yelling at hoses and stuff. So I want to see if I can get up to 3 dice, which is just going to give me some better odds. Listen up, peeps. They don't call me the 2-star queen for nothing. Yoo-hoo! Okay. This is great. So we are decreasing horror. We're actually gaining time. This is crazy. Okay, we're gonna go for a little walk. We're leaving the meadow. We're leaving the safety of the meadow. I get a 3rd die. All right. Okay, so we got 1 star, which is honestly all we needed because we only need it to move 1 space. Excuse me. I'm coming for you, Vinny and Veronica. You will live. I will not let you die. Oh my God. And then we are going to do a Furious Strike because I'm furious. I'm furious that the wolf has just been going around, taking little bites out of me, threatening my family and my friends in the woods and stuff, and I'm just delaying the inevitable. So let's go. Let's see. I need, whoopsies, jeez Louise, calm down. I need at least 1 star. If I get 1 star, we are potentially winning. And I got it. 1 star. 1 star queen. I got 1 star. I could, nay, should discard 2 cards because you can't be too safe. We can't be too safe. We'll get rid of our focus and our short rest to turn this 3 into a star. Now we got 2 stars. 2-star queen. 2-star queen. 2-star queen. I've never felt so cocky playing this game in my entire life. This is the most confident I've ever been. Literally ever. Okay. I am hitting him for 2, and my horror is decreasing. If there is something on the back of this token, if it's more than 1 heart, he lives. If it's nothing, he dies. He dies. I did it! We have defeated the big bad wolf. I internally am conflicted because I really like wolves and I really do like werewolves, but you know what? It's fine. He was going around eating people and we beat him. R.I.P. to your face, you wolf. Let's just see for fun. I always like to check at the end of my final girl games what, so he had nothing. I would have come back from the dead 1 time. He didn't stand a chance. And let's just see also for fun what his finale would have, woo, scary. All right, his finale card is when revealed, the big bad wolf recovers a heart for each dead victim. He didn't kill anybody. This wolf is terrible at his job. But then he would have been doing double attacks, and that wouldn't have been great. What an epic battle. I am forever known as the 2-star queen. There, it's self-declared. You'll love to see it. But that is everything that I have for you today. Now, if you're interested in Final Girl, definitely go and check out its page on Board Game Geek. I will make sure that all of the links are down below for you. I am Jamie with Board Game Geek. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you again later. Bye!